Hi students, this is Heather Hammond-Williams. I wanted to kind of go over the observation paper. This video is just going to be on formatting and kind of understand what the options are. And every semester for the options are different, so I'm going to do a general video. So please look over your instructions and your options for your semester. But with the observation video, usually I don't allow students to observe their own child. However, with the pandemic, and if we're not in the pandemic, I might be reasonable. We'll see how that goes. But typically, you're not allowed to observe your own child, but you have to. That's okay. You're going to pick a participant. It's going to really reflect the assignment option. So you can't just make up your own observation. It is something strictly based on what I provide. For some semesters, I do like preschool, I'll do adolescence, emerging adulthood. Just really depends on what semester it is and what options you're being provided. I do try to change that up every semester. But with that, I really want to go over the format. So the first thing you need to do is find a participant, someone that is in the age group of the option that you're choosing to do. So you can do this on FaceTime, on Skype, on Zoom, just like we are right now. You can do it through email. You can do it through FaceTime. Whatever serves your needs to get the answers done, that's fine. So depending on your option, it's going to make more sense which strategy you're going to do. So if it's one of the interview ones because it's for older children or for adults, then you can do something like email or a phone call and things like that. But if you actually have to do an observation, especially like the preschool one, it might be kind of hard to do just through email. You're going to have to, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, something will help with that. So let's scroll down and kind of talk about the assignment. So with the assignment, you're going to do the actual interview or observation, depending on what semester it is, and you're really going to go have detailed notes on that. So I will want your detailed notes. I will want you to save the paper in a PDF or Word document. So the format is going to basically start off with an introduction. So your introduction is really talking about the person that you are interviewing or you're observing. So how do you know them? What's their name? What's their age? It's just going to be really important. Kind of things that you observed, just starting off, things that you already know about them, things that are going to connect. In your interview part, you're going to need to really give me some detail about the person. Yes, roughly about a paragraph, if not more, but if you're just giving me a couple lines, it's really not going to get you the full points. So you're also going to need to connect it with the textbook. So if you're doing the preschool age one, you're going to be connecting to something about, like maybe you're talking about fine motor skills or gross motor or cognitive development, just depending on what the assignment is, you're going to be connecting that topic, maybe define some terms, provide some statistics, and you're going to cite an APA. So you can either do the textbook or you can do the PowerPoint. You do not need to go find another source. So please stay with our textbook and our PowerPoints. So I even have details like if you're picking which option you're doing, like some stuff you want to do. So remember, if you are picking the teenage one, the adolescent one, you're going to be comparing it to you. You do have to be 4 years older than that adolescent that you're interviewing. So just kind of be note that I do want your responses too. So if you pick that option, I'll get to know you a little bit better, right? And then, so you're going to do your introduction, about a paragraph. Then you're going to do your summary. So your summary is actually going to be a bulk of this assignment. So the summary is going to be about 2 pages, if not more. If you're doing less than that, you're really not going to get the full points. And if you look at the grading rubric, this section's a lot of points. So we like points. I want you to do well. So give me some details. So your details would be like if you're doing the preschool one, the actual observation. You're going to be describing it to me, painting me a picture, like where did you do it at? What were the responses? Preschoolers are hilarious. So they probably said something pretty hilarious, so include it. You're really going to give me details. So details, and you're going to have to really focus like on the checklist that's provided. You're going to talk about the serialization task. So how did they order things? Did they count the items correctly? Did they look at it, conservation, all those things I'm really looking at. I want details in how that was done. If you're doing one of the interviews, now the interviews, you're not going to do just question and answer. It's not how it works. You got to do a paragraph in like an essay format. So I'm not going to say something like, what's your favorite thing at school? And then answer. It's not how it works. You're going to say something like, Johnny stated that his favorite subject in school is math. So you're really restructuring that. So not question and answer, you need an essay. So that's going to be a big bulk of it. So about at least 2 pages, if not more. If you want to do more, that's great. I like detail. Now the next part, which is also the same amount of points as the observation part, summary part, is what we call the analysis. So the analysis is really where you're going to be connecting your information to like your textbook and PowerPoint and really focusing on the developmental domains. So you're really going to, and I even have some, out there for you, and I want you to touch on all of them. So it's very important that you're following instructions, because guess what? If you're missing a section of that, that's just minus points, and we like points. Let's do it well. So in this section, you're actually running about 3 to 4 pages. And if you're looking at it, because I know students always want like how many pages, how much for this one, roughly you're doing about a paragraph per developmental domain, so per little part. So some of your guys' interview and observations might not have some of this, so you're going to have to ask questions on your own. So like physical development. You can talk about, if you're doing the preschool one, how they did on cutting and drawing and stuff would be fine motors. If they were jumping and skipping and hopping, that's your gross motors. Also physical appearance, like are they slender? Are they slightly overweight? Are they healthy? Are they tall for their age? Like you're looking for those type of things, and you need to support your claims with your textbook and PowerPoint. And then you're going to talk about cognitive development, brain development. Depending on which age you're picking, that's going to have a lot of connections to which topics you're going to be doing. So what I would suggest to do is kind of define terms, use your textbook and your PowerPoint, whichever one's better for you, and really focus giving me some examples that connected to what the participant said or did. You're going to need to know things about their family. So if you know them, it makes it a little bit easier, so you don't really have to ask questions. A family friend is great. A family member, someone that you know well, always does better because you know them better. So you're going to talk about the family connections to that child or adult or adolescent, whoever the option is. And you're going to talk about school or work. Now, work, of course, is going to be connected to age, but, maybe they have some chores. So my kids have chores. So maybe we're going to be talking about chores. So you're really going to be talking about how, what's their favorite subjects? How do they do well in school? So you might need to know, from their parent. They might tell you they're doing great and maybe they're really not, but hey, it's all right. Or maybe you know them well and you know that they're doing well, or maybe they're struggling in an area and maybe some tutoring might be great. So you can talk about peers and friends. Right now they don't get to experiment too much of that because we're all in lockdown right now. But even like with their siblings, their family members, especially like the little ones, maybe they're not in preschool yet. So maybe, they don't have as many opportunities, but maybe they do play dates, things like that. Talk about self-identity, kind of talking about like what is their self-esteem like, personality is great, right? Your temperament can even pull in there. So you're really going to be talking about the self. So that all is going to be about 3 to 4 pages because you're going to be doing at least a paragraph per domain. So make sure you do that, right? It's a lot of points. And then you're going to be doing a conclusion. So your conclusion needs to be at least a paragraph. Now, remember, paragraphs are like 5 sentences, if not more. You're going to be connecting the whole thing. So you're going to be talking about, what did you observe? Did it connect to the textbook? You do need to cite textbook or PowerPoint in there too. You need to kind of like, what did you learn about them? You need to give me some details about the person and the developmental domains that they were focusing on or what they did well in and things like that. You're also going to be looking at, APA, quality of writing. Did you cite? You need to have at least 5 cites, if not more, throughout the paper. If you don't cite at all, that's going to be a big chunk of points taken away. So make sure you are. You need APA title page, APA reference page, and then I also want the consent form. So I know right now maybe we don't have a printer, or maybe you're struggling with a printer. If you have the parent email you and you forward it to me, I'll take it like that. So whatever is easier is fine with me. So you can take a picture of it, you can upload it, whatever works best for me. But I do need consent from the parent that it's okay. Also, if the child is able to write and stuff like that we need assent. It's very important to get children's assent and teenagers' assent too. So they got to be cooperative. It's not because their mommy made them. Which is also fun, right? And I want your interview notes. So your interview notes don't have to be typed up. If you're doing the preschool one, I do want like the checklist. I do want the props. So like, how did they cut it out? The hearts, like how did they organize the hearts? Take a picture of it. I do not want pictures of the children. I do not want pictures of the adolescents or the adult. I just want of the work. And that is going to be the bulk of it. So if you keep scrolling down, you're able to see where all the points are. So the points are very important because that is going to be a big connection. So here they go. So look at that. The summary is 25 points. That's a lot of points. The analysis part, talking about the developmental maze, that's 25 points. That's a lot of points. So make sure that you're doing everything correctly. I'm going to do another video on the different options. And I do have samples in the module. So hopefully that helps. And please feel free to ask me questions if you have any more. So you guys have a good day.